Alright, what I'm trying to show you is a video on how to turn a complete shit box into a growling, howling guitar and save yourself a ton of money rather than being ripped off by a bunch of phonies like Fender and Gibson. Okay? First of all, the sound you're hearing is a little Epster that I turned into a growling, howling monster guitar from a cheap-ass Epiphone. Monster guitar for less than $500, and it's got a sound equal to or better than what I compared it to through analyzers are several Les Pauls I've got. Okay, and trust me, those were not cheap guitars at all. Now here you're going to see a Gibson potentiometer, the type I put into this guitar, cheap, at 12 bucks a piece, 48 bucks. Okay. Next, you're going to see the piece of crap that Gibson tells Epiphone to put in their guitars. Alright? So it sounds like shit. That's Chinese shit. Here's a direct comparison of the two. Right? Which one do you think is the better one? Which one do you think will make the sound come out better? So you think 12 bucks is too much to invest into a guitar to make it sound good? Well, according to Gibson, it is. They want Epiphone to sound like shit so the kids will sit there and play and go, oh man, I just had 5,000 bucks and I have a great sounding guitar. Not the case. Okay? Not the case at all, my friends. Now, take a look at this, alright? These are Gibson pots. They're 12 bucks a piece, $48, right? And you can do all kinds of modifications with these things once you get them, alright? Here's the end piece that came out of this piece of junk. It's got cardboard for its construction, not plastic, not metal, cardboard. Along with that, these are even cheap knockoff control top hats. They're supposed to be, you know, resemble Gibsons. Again, look at this. You're looking at some of the cheapest junk available. The main thing is that potentiometer you saw is a 1000, is, you know, to handle both those pickups. Just amazing what kind of crap they put in there. And again, it's all game. Do you see more Duncans that you see in here, okay, are outrageously good pickups. Look at the pot size difference between this thing and that little cheap orange shop copy. It's night and day, okay. Main thing is, if you're going to mod one of these guitars, make sure you got enough room to put these parts in there. And this one is a tight fit, okay. I had to drill 2 more holes in it, okay, between those 2 wide space ones, and put a 3-way 90-degree connector in there to make it all work. And it was not easy coming up with a design to make that all work, okay? Because the main thing is you don't want them touching one another. And if you look closely, this thing's made of plywood, the cheapest composite glued together, pressed together plywood. And yes, these potentiometers, I'm sorry, these pickups will fit in any guitar. They're all made pretty much the same size. Something else to keep in mind is the hardware on these guitars. Make sure it's not just bent or broken when you're modifying a cheap guitar. Okay, this one I was lucky to find at a pawn shop, 66 bucks, regularly $200. Great neck on this thing. I mean, a great neck, and it's got, you know, the neck was true, the frets were new. It's real well set up little guitar, okay? And it's supposed to look like a little Les Paul. If you'll see the, you know, the similarities there. Of course, this one doesn't have maple and mahogany. It's made out of plywood, you know. And there's a $1,400 overpriced guitar that's got the electronics in it, right? And it's made out of that special voodoo wood. Ooh, that changes all its sounds. It makes it so wonderful. Ooh. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference. It's electronics that make the difference. I mean, you can call from here to the cows come home. You don't get anything out of a guitar. The electronics sound like crap and are crappy. You put those Chinese electronics in this guitar, it'll sound just like the shit box the Epster started out to be. I guarantee it. But make sure that that neck is true. Make sure that body is in good shape, okay? Also, something to keep in mind is you want shielded electronics, right? In the back of this thing, it's got a metal paint job on it that makes sure that there's no problem with you know, harmonics from the electronics. Look how tall it's. Now, when I contacted Gibson and told them what I was doing and just, you know, laid it all out, they gave me no more help. So when I ordered stuff from them, they sent me the wrong stuff. I said, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm modifying, the model and everything. They were aware of it. What size potentiometers do I need? They sent me these long shaft fuckers. Okay? What assholes. Well, I fixed that pretty well. All I did was put the spacers in there made of rubber and took up that extra length to make them look right again. So it came out pretty nice looking. You'll see here in a minute. These are the original parts. Look at the size difference there. Okay? Just crazy. There's their tone potentiometer with a fake orange drop on it. You know, it sounds like crap. It was meant to sound like crap. Main thing is, if you got a good place to work, you know, use it, okay? Don't do this on your, you know, floor or your kitchen table unless you have no other place to do it. But be prepared. There's going to be wire and solder junk everywhere. Okay? Just so happens I have a nice workshop to do this, you know, modifications in at my house. My house in the city. Anyway, you don't need a lot of tools. You know, some just basic hand tools and a soldering iron is all you need. Okay? Very simple to do. All pickups come with diagrams. Unfortunately, these slash pickups, a little bit ahead of the drawings. In that, they had to put a little, you know, star, little window down there showing you that these particular pickups are single conductors and have a wire and just the metal sheathing around that wire that you connect to the hot leg of the wire, or the one wire, to the hot leg of the potentiometer, and you connect the shielding to the side of the potentiometer to ground it. That's all it takes. So there's no more of those 4 or 5 wires involved. And get this, DiMarzio's come up with potentiometers that require no more soldering. Okay, all you do is just put the wire in there, push a little, you know, knob, or screw it down, and it's connected. No more soldering. Big improvement. Of course, they're about twice the price, but still, then again, if you can't solder, you don't have an excuse, because DiMarzio came up with a solderless potentiometer electronics, so you don't have to solder. Just snap them in there. I'm showing that ground wire, making sure that's being shown. Since these need to be grounded, that's very key, paramount, muy importante, you name it. You don't want to get shocked by one of these guitars, but plugging it into an amp is not grounded. Any questions about being grounded? You actually can plug that guitar in, turn the amp on, not be holding the guitar. It'll squeal and go crazy through that amp, okay? So you know if there's something wrong with the wiring on it. You just simply flip the amp off. Or you can actually have it plugged into a quick blow fuse system. If it's grounded improperly or it's not wired properly, boom! It blows the fuse before it hurts you. That's something to make sure. Now you can find everything about the proper grounding, proper wiring in YouTube as well as on the internet. It's all laid out for you. That's how I did it. Okay, and if I can do it, anyone can. I mean, any idiot like me that can do this, I guarantee you some smart kid out there can do this. And it won't take a ton of, you know, knowledge or experience to get it done. Okay? Anyway, that's about it. Thanks much. Alright, let's try a different tone here. Try another one. That nice fat tone these things can do. thanks much for watching the video. And, you know, any questions, you know, get in touch with me. Dave's in Texas. Have a good one, and I'll just play it out.